So in this video, we're going to be going over the best perks to be using inside the Vanguard multiplayer. Now, we've got a ton more perks added since the beta. A lot have been changed as well since the beta, so we will go over all of that in this video. And if you enjoy gameplay videos or overall tips and tricks for Vanguard multiplayer, don't forget to sub to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. And also make sure you subscribe to our main channel as well. We'll be posting stats content later on today. I know I keep saying it, but we will be doing that later today. We've just got a few videos I want to make on this channel first. And the way this video is going to work is that we'll go through each perk slot and then we'll leave a tick to the 3 best perks in each of those slots, and we'll read through all of what they do first of all and explain it. And then, like I said, we'll leave a tick on the 3 best ones out of each category so you know which one to be choosing when it comes to the multiplayer. So, when it comes to Fortified, that is the first perk in perk 1. This reduces explosive damage by 15%. This gets doubled if you're mounted, crouched, or prone, and it also reduces the regen delay from explosives as well. So overall, a very solid perk. Now, if someone's going to throw an explosive at you, just make sure you go prone, and that way you only take 70% damage, which is actually pretty good when it comes to a perk. So that is definitely going to be really solid. I can see a lot of people using this, to be completely honest. Other than the fact that it is the first perk you actually unlock too, so it is going to be very handy. Survival training, so this is going to maximize your resistance to stun effects. It doesn't tell you exactly how much resistance you get, similar to Fortified said 15%, but it doesn't tell you exactly how much. And it says also immune to gas as well. So like I said, this is going to be pretty solid, especially since stuns are pretty much broken in most COD games, so this could be very useful. Ninja allows you to move silently and take reduced fall damage essentially, and it also reduces the effectiveness of enemy tracker perks. This is going to be things like tracker or maybe high alert, so things like that it probably won't show up on high alert, for example. Dauntless, immune to movement reduction effects. So this is going to be things like frangible disabling, frangible wounding, whatever that is. The kind of similar version of that inside Vanguard. No one really uses that inside multiplayer. I don't think anyone usually uses that at all, unless it's like one of the perks you kind of have to use because you haven't unlocked anything else. So I don't really see this being all that useful. Ghost, undetectable whilst moving by spy planes, enemy intel, field mics, reduce effectiveness of local informants. So Ghost, we all know how it works, but this only works if you're moving. So if you're kind of camping in a corner, it doesn't work. So just keep that in mind. Don't camp if you're using Ghost. Make sure you're constantly moving, and you will stay off of enemy radars, all that kind of stuff. But Ghost is pretty solid too, we all know that. Cold-blooded, now this is also a really solid perk. Perk 1 is pretty stacked when it comes to really good perk options. This is going to keep you off of any of the kill streaks, keeps you off a high alert. It will reduce a lot of the ranges that enemy can ping you. The Cold-blooded is a really solid perk just to make sure you're not getting killed by kill streaks, which is really annoying in my opinion. So like I said, when it comes to perk 1, we've got a lot of solid options, but in my opinion, Fortified, Ninja, and Ghost will be the best 3. Moving on into the perk 2 slot now, we have Tracker, which is the first option. So Tracker leaves an enemy footprint behind in a trail to see exactly where the location is. We kind of know how this works from Warzone and previous COD games. Tracker is a pretty solid perk, especially for multiplayer. I think it's much better than it would be in like Warzone, for example, but it's definitely a really good perk to see where enemies are. Then we've got Radar, so enemies appear on your minimap when they fire an unsilenced weapon. This should just be in the game as a standard thing. Basically, as if you fire unsuppressed, you get to see enemies on the radar, but I don't know why this isn't just a standard thing. It's just a kind of useless perk. They kind of made it a perk just for no reason. High alert, your vision pulses outside of your view if enemies are looking at you, so kind of handy too. We all know how high alert works, very similar to the way it works inside previous COD games as well. Engineer, detect enemy equipment, field mics, kill streaks through walls. You can mark them, and you can also hack them as well. So if someone's got a claymore set down, for example, you can hack it so that when they walk by their claymore the next time round, they'll actually die from it. So Engineer's kind of cool, but I don't really see all that many people using it. It's not Doesn't really get used all that often, even in previous games. Forward intel, see indicators for enemy reinforcements on your minimap. Minimap shows a larger area. This could be handy. Again, shouldn't really be a perk in my opinion, but it is one, and I don't really know why it is one, to be honest, but it makes your minimap bigger and you can see indicators for other enemies when they spawn in. Then we've got piercing vision, which is basically wall hacks, more or less. If someone's sufficiently suppressed, which I'm not really too sure what exactly that means. I don't know if it means that if they've got like a full suppressor, then they won't show up. And then if they've got something that's like kind of suppressed, but not really, then they will show up, or not suppressed at all. But this is basically wall hacks, man. Doesn't matter which way you put it, this is wall hacks. And it's definitely going to be one of the more useful ones. So in my opinion, the best three would be tracker, radar, and wall hacks, or piercing vision, whatever you want to call it. So those are definitely going to be the best three in my opinion. Last but not least, we have the perk 3 slot, and this is kind of like all about movement and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to perk 3, the first perk we have is double time. This is going to double the duration of your tactical sprint, which it always has done. And it also increases your crouch movement speed by 30%. So it's kind of handy if you're trying to move around a lot quicker, or you're trying to move silently, move around a lot quicker. It's definitely going to be useful. I don't think it's like one of the best perks in the game, but it's definitely not a bad one. Demolition, you spawn with an extra lethal, and then throwing lethals and tacticals display an indicator showing the path of lethal or tactical. Basically you get to see where you've thrown it, more or less, which doesn't really help all that much, to be completely honest. Spawning with an extra lethal is definitely kind of handy, but like I said, not that good of a perk overall. Lightweight increases your movement speed, so just your overall movement speed, and I think this is going to be super handy, especially if you're using something like an LMG. This is definitely going to be one of the better perks to use, in my opinion. Overkill, carry 2 primary weapons, definitely very solid as well. Basically you get to carry 2 weapons, primary weapons, so you could choose whatever you want. Tactician, restocks your tactical equipment every 30 seconds, so basically it works the way restock does. And that again can be very handy. 30 seconds inside multiplayer is a long time, to be completely honest, so maybe you don't necessarily need to restock your tactical equipment all the time, but if you do stay alive and you do like using stuns quite a lot, then Tactician's solid as well. Scavenger replenishes ammo from dead players, and that is pretty much all it does, which is not all that handy. So the best perks in this slot here, definitely lightweight, overkill, and tactician. Those are definitely going to be the best three in my opinion. I think lightweight is going to be amazing to use. People will choose this over overkill in my opinion, just because of the fact that if they like using LMGs or sniper rifles or slow moving weapons, then you can still move pretty quickly even with that weapon. So there we have it. Those are the best perks to be using inside the Vanguard multiplayer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to sub as we try to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our main channel as well. And thank you very much for watching.